Welcome back to our conversation with Alexander Count James. In this chapter, we talk a bit about how Uncle Count met his high school sweetheart and love of his life, Dorothy. You know, at the time of this recording, they had celebrated their 65th wedding anniversary. Now, being how all this happened around the time he was in high school, it also touches on how decisions made at that time in life begin to lay a foundation for the future. And in the case of him and Dot, it was a solid foundation for sure.
Let's talk about Aunt Dot. You met her when you were very young, didn't you?
Teenagers.
Yeah, you met her when you were a teenager. Where were you living then?
178th Street in the Bronx.
Yeah, how old were you about?
Well, I was in high school by then. I was probably, if I remember correctly, probably in 10th, so like a sophomore in high school. So this was the place we lived is where we, became superintendents. So after moving to the Bronx, we went to Kelly Street, and then from there up to 178th Street, 1017, where we, got a superintendent's job. And Uncle Coon, who was the first one to get one, they didn't live too far away. They were just on the other side of Southern Boulevard. So we were like Boston Road. They were like, past Southern Boulevard. And we got that job at that point. So, I think I was in 4th grade when we got there. And I'm pretty sure that was 4th grade, and went to PS6 on Tremont Avenue, right nearby. And then 5th grade, I was there. 6th grade, they went up to 8th. So I was there for 4 to 8. And after 8th, you go to high school. I went up to Roosevelt High School. And
The same Roosevelt near Fordham Road?
Yeah, on Fordham Road. Across from Fordham University.
Yeah.
So Theodore Roosevelt. Now that's the school Luella went to. And your mother went to
Evander, exactly.
Childs. Lizzie went to James Monroe. You know where that is?
Monroe, yeah.
Yeah, okay. And Retha went to Needle Trades. So she had to go downtown. And
was that a vocational school?
well, it was, I guess it became something like fashion in the streets, but at that time it was needle trade, so we learned how to make clothing and all of that. I'm sure that's where the styles got in. And I said whoever was Roosevelt. Who did I leave out? Retha. I got Lizzie, Retha, Ada, and whoever, yeah.
And then Uncle
Then I went to Roosevelt, and after a year, and I did pretty well in Roosevelt, but after a year, I guess I didn't see the future there. And my father he was always one for trade, so from where he was, and he worked, I told you how he worked on the railroad and so on, but he never had that skilled trade, it was just maybe, the manual labor kind of work. And he always said he thought it, was good to have a trade, like an electrician, a plumber, a carpenter, or something like that. So after being in Roosevelt for a while, and I didn't, I guess I was thinking trade too. So I went down, and of course, when I had who was it? Lefty, who was ahead of me, he had gone down to Bronx Vacation doing auto mechanics. And so I decided to transfer down there and, get into a trade. I wasn't sure what trade, but when I did transfer, and the transfer and that stuff like that, this is something Dad often talks about, it wasn't parents doing this, you just did it. Parents were not, didn't have that kind of involvement.
Didn't have to sign off on it or anything. Huh?
Right, so when it came time to high school, you decided which one you wanted to go to, and you went to it, and that was that. And so when I decided to transfer, I said, okay, I'll go down to Bronx Vacation because we had friends down there. So I transferred down from Roosevelt. And the thing that got me when the counselor at Bronx Vocational, which is now Alfred E. Smith, of course, but when he was saying, what trade did I want to study? So he said, what trade do you want? Auto mechanics, which is where all the black kids went. Auto mechanics? And I said, no. Looked up, no. So I said, electric wiring. Okay, no. Boom. So that's how I got into, I ended up becoming an electrician to start out with. Anyway, I met Dot after I was in Bronx Vocational. So that was, if I could figure out that year, that would be the age I was. So
okay, she was in the neighborhood? She lived in your neighborhood?
She lived in the neighborhood, Mapes Avenue in Tremont.
Oh, that's wow. Mapes Avenue, that's where Nell is.
Yeah. But I met her, my friend Temple.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was at his house one night and one evening. And she came in with her sister and I think some other girl. And, I guess she came in and I think they were on the way from something at church and came in and talking a lot and everything. And, I got introduced to her and Temple's father was there. And of course she went on and I remember her father telling her, say, children should be seen but not heard.
That was not going to work with her.
She was definitely a talker. But anyway, that's where I met her. But just meeting her seemed like a little girl at the time. And then as time went on, since she was in the neighborhood, we had there was a couple of houses on Ellesmere Place where some girls lived. So guys, me and other guys used to go up there to see those girls. And I went with a couple of those girls up there, and Dot lived about 2 blocks away. So she used to be around too. So somehow, I guess the groups got together. So she, if you remember, she was dating and she was going with my cousin Lefty.
Right.
First. And I was going with whoever, I guess girls, that was one thing, I guess.
You were teenagers.
Yeah, teenagers. So you used to switch and, go with this girl, that girl. Sometimes, your buddy had gone with her and all of that, and vice versa. You had gone with her and he's not gone with her. But anyway, it was sometime after that, I guess we started going together. I'm not really sure how. Probably she and Temple were, tight, because he used to, go over there all the time. They didn't have anything in terms of romance or anything like that. He was just a friend, and he was the guy who's always, with girls, whether it was anything between them or not. He was always around girls, more than boys. I guess he talked to them, but because he ended up going with Idella, of course, for a good while. And so anyway, I guess that's how we met. The group, guys and girls used to get together, and then she was going with Lefty. I don't remember going with anybody else. And then we got.
But after you guys got together, it's kind of stuck, huh?
Yeah. Well, it stuck. We did break up.
Yeah, because I figure you finished high school. When you finished high school, did you go to college? Did you go to the service? What was the trajectory at that point?
Yeah, when I finished high school, I was became an electrician's helper. So I was working for an electrician and doing all kinds of stuff. You had us working in buildings downtown, and restaurants and stuff, just wiring, running wires through the ceilings and the walls and all that, and in houses. So I was doing that. I was 52 like July 52, I started doing that. And 53, when she graduated, we got engaged. So I was a year out of high school and she was just getting out, and that's when we got engaged.
And actually wasn't that unusual in those days.
Right. No, so, and that was it. So I guess we had been going together some of that time. But there was, I guess, after we had, been dating for a while, there was one time, I guess, we broke up. And I seem to remember the way we got back together was Louis, cousin Louis, who he had a car. And he came to my house one time and he was asking about her, how she or something. And I said, oh, I haven't seen her. He said, oh, well, why don't we go over and take her for a ride? Go for a ride or something. So we did. Went over and I guess she was able to come out. We took a ride and talked and so on. And from that time on, we, got back together, and I'd say the rest is history, right?
Yeah. Alex and Dorothy James, we've been married 55 years. And what we want to say to Jay and Gina is that, as they noticed today, that knot gets tied very quickly. But it's got a hold for a long time, as you can see. So you got to make it tighter and tighter as the years goes on. And we wish you the best of luck.